Last season on our Building a Nation save, we had obviously just been promoted back to the Romanian First League, and we were then crowned champions by 4 whole points. A lot of this was down to the Champions playoff, where we were just really, really good and lots of other teams weren't very good at all. But we are champions. Completely unexpected. We are champions, which means this season, we kind of have to do it again, right? The season preview does not think that that is likely to happen, having us predicted currently down in 11th place on the 1st of July. Obviously, we do have a transfer window to go through where we will be trying to strengthen that side. We've also got ourselves a complicated Champions League thing. And by complicated, the fact that we're in the Champions League makes things complicated. We are in qualifying rounds, which I have to assume we're probably not going to get through them because we're probably going to draw somebody really good. But if we get into the Champions League group stages, that's going to be some big money. If we can get into the Europa League group stages, we might actually be able to win some games, and ultimately, that's where you get coefficient points from. Even though it is only the 1st of July, we have already started our transfer business, starting off with Bruno Lopez, signed from Moreirense, might be how it's said, who are technically are not feeder club, they're our senior club. We are the feeder club. They can nick players from us, basically. He's come in on a free transfer. 19-year-old goalkeeper Gilbert Nzungu has joined from Maniema Union, a Democratic Republic of Congo international with 15 caps to his name. He has also joined on a free transfer. I've got high hopes for Nzungu. Also signed on a free transfer taken directly from the Kenyan national team with 1 cap to his name, Collins Wafula. I've looked at him and went, he looks pretty good. He's getting caps for Kenya at 18. He might get better to the point of where we might force play him. I'm not sure where yet, though. And finally, for actual money, for about £12,000, I believe, Joel Omoru might be his name, a Beninese attacking midfielder with 1 cap to his name, signed from Buffaloes FC in his native Benin. He looks alright. He's one for the future. He's worth 2.3 to 3.8 million pounds. So apparently, whoever comes up with these numbers thinks there's some value there, thinks he's going to be a good player. Obviously, the transfer window is not closed. We do still have £1 million to spend, plus a couple of months of time to actually spend that cash if we are going to do it. Not quite sure what business we really need to do, because obviously, when you are defending champions, we're good enough to win the league. So in theory, our transfer business needs to basically be continue to strengthen, get in some decent young players. Maybe that's what we go for once again. Right, we've now jumped forward to the 12th of September. The transfer window has closed and we have done no more business into the club. This is kind of what I was thinking, where I don't think we need to buy players. I think we've got the players to do the job that we need to do. We have, however, sold a bunch of players who weren't going to get much football. Henri Camden, one of them, signing for Coton Sport for not a lot of money, £22,500, which is actually a profit technically. Kotai Kudos has also left for £26,500. Big money leaving at the moment. For £51,000, Eric Bissene has also left the club, going over to Başakşehir over in Turkey. I mean, this one I wasn't convinced was a good idea. We bought him on a free, played a lot of football, but I think we've got better players. Zolani Tashaka has also left the club, signing for Panathinaikos for £220,000, which is quite a lot of money for a player who actually played quite a lot of football for us last season. And we did play him a couple of times already, but we've kind of taken the risk. We're going to put some faith in our youngsters, I think. And for £450,000, club legend? Technically not. I don't think he's a club legend. Doru Andre has left, going to Hertha Berlin, £450,000. He's been here since the start of the save. In fact, I believe that's technically the start of the save there. So he joined in real life and we've moved him on £450,000. He's 31, will be 32 come the end of the season. We've got our money's worth. And once again, we're well in the realms of basically decent new gens will be better than him. So we are going to take that risk. We're going to start playing a lot more new gens. So yeah, that was it, transfer business-wise. No more players joining the club, a few others as well. We've got Hunar Pop leaving for £11,000. Bunch of people going out on loan as well, which this one I'm not sure was a good idea. He's quite a good right-back, but getting some first-team football playing in the second division, probably not a bad thing at all. Antonio Neves as well as a youngster, getting some first-team football hopefully will do him a world of good as well. So, fixtures-wise, Champions League, we've been knocked out by RB Salzburg. We've lost 6-0 over the 2 legs, which means we drop down into the Europa League. A Europa League that we are actually in. We're currently sat 25th, but that's done on, I assume, coefficients, maybe? I'm not quite sure, but yeah, we're down in 25th place at the moment. We are in the Europa League, which means we have 8 matches to play in Europe, which is 8 times that we could get ourselves some decent coefficients for Romania. In the Romanian First League, however, things have not started out particularly well. We're currently mid-table, literally bang smack in the middle in 8th place. 3 wins, 2 draws, 4 defeats. And where we've lost arguably against teams who will be up the top end of the table, but we've lost pretty badly. 4-0 and 5-1 are not good results. Draws as well against Craiovia and Hermannstad, matches that you'd hope we would be able to win there. 3 wins, though, is also pretty good. 2 of them at 4-0, 1 of them at 5-1. So when we win big. And the players that we've locked in, at least for the first half of the season, we've got 4 of them. Nzungu will be our number 1 goalkeeper. I didn't start with him. He hasn't actually played much yet, but I kind of looked at him and went, he needs game time. Let's do it. Let's just roll the dice. Let's give Nzungu some game time. Obviously, Barzon, is it Barzon? It is Barzon, was our number 1 goalkeeper for the last few seasons. He's conceded 11 in 8. So I'm there thinking, let's give Nzungu the chance. We're going to play Dimitru playing as that centre-back. Yes, he's 15 years of age. Came through our last youth intake. He's 15, and he is arguably the best defender that we have right now. Just to put in context, if I click this list here, this is ordered by rollability. He is our best ball-playing defender at 15 years of age. So we're going to play him. We're going to do it. Sigurd Steinsen also keeps his place in that defensive midfield. I just like him. He's good. He's getting on a bit now. He's 26, approaching 27, but 71 appearances in the league for us, 10 goals. And finally, we are playing Collins Wafulu on that left-hand side, and he has started stupidly good. The Romanian Super Cup, which we'll come to in a minute, he got 2 assists and 2 goals. Yes, of course we won that thing. In the league, he's got 4 goals and 5 assists as well. He's something special. He is genuinely something special. We're going to play him on that left-hand side, see how well he does for the season. He's 18 as well. He could be here. If we can hold on to this guy, he could be a superstar. He could also be absolutely awful, and this is his literal maximum potential. But, you know, let's hope. Let's hope that he's going to get better. So the Romanian Super Cup, we did win this one 6-0. We were playing UTA Arad because I can't remember what happened with all the other teams, but Arad were the ones that basically managed to get to the Super Cup final because I think they must have won the cup. And yeah, we just absolutely battered them. Wafulu, Teodoro, Churchiu might be his name, and who else scored? Meziani also got on the score sheet. So yeah, we've obviously played very, very well in that one, which is always good to see. Right, we're now going to jump forward to the winter break to see how well we've done in the first, I would say, half of the season. It's not really the first half. It's the first, 2/3 of the season. So we're going to start things off looking at the Europa League. We are 6 games in out of 8, and we are currently 12th in the table, and we look like we're in a good enough position to get ourselves through to the next round. The highest average rating. If you've scored 5 goals in 4 starts. Fair enough. That's always good to see. But yeah, we are looking like we're doing quite well. 2 defeats against Slavia Prague and Ludogorets. Not ideal. A draw with Fortuna Sittard. I guess we'll take it. Beating Sevilla 3-0, beating Olympia 4-0, and beating Adana DS 4-3. Beating Sevilla 3-0 is nuts, right? That just sounds kind of out of the left wing. And then Sparta Prague and Ludogorets, you'd expect maybe we could have done something better. We did score 4 goals, though. In the Romanian First League, however, things haven't really changed too much. We are still sat 8th place in the table. 7 wins, 5 draws, 9 defeats. 9 defeats is a lot of defeats. And once again, some of them are quite big. They're big score lines. Conceding 5 against Rapid, 5 against CFR Cluj, 4 against FCSB, 3 against Sepsi, 4 against Hermannstad. We are letting in a lot of goals, which is a bit of an issue, I think. So much so that we've actually dropped Nzungu from being our forced number 1 goalkeeper. Not saying he won't play. We've decided Nzungu is not going to be locked in as our number 1 goalkeeper. We're going to let the assistant manager decide who is better. When it comes to transfers for January, we've got £1 million to spend, but we have already agreed a deal to sign ourselves a new central defender, and I think that's where we need to try and strengthen, because I think our goalkeepers aren't necessarily the problem. I think the fact that we're playing a 15-year-old in defence might kind of be causing some of these issues. So we're going to bring in some more central defenders. That's the plan. So let's jump forward to the end of the transfer window, and obviously we'll be halfway through kind of February by this point as well. So this transfer window was quite an interesting transfer window. Jose Teodoro, the Brazilian right-back, has left going over to China for 1.4, potentially rising to 1.6 million pounds. I saw that money and went, that's not a bad amount of money, and we've got some decent right-back options. More importantly, the right-back that we loaned out at the start of the season, I have recalled him. So, we're not going to hopefully miss Teodoro, and we've got a much healthier bank balance. Somebody we might miss, however, is Gilbert Nzungu. He has gone to Manchester City for £2.7 million because he had a minimum fee release in his contract of £2.7 million. Man City also said, do you want to loan him back? And I went no, because he annoyed me so much, I didn't do it, and then realised we haven't got any other goalkeepers. So, yeah, that might have been a problem. Until we signed Dragan Filipovic, who is signed from Partizan, a 22-year-old Serbian goalkeeper, 16 under-21 caps. He has come in for a whopping £18,000, and I'm hoping that this here, his potential ability of 4.5 stars, is accurate. He's come from Partizan. You know, if you've played Football Manager ever in the past, Partizan make good youth players. I'm rolling the dice that he's going to be good. In fact, we're rolling the dice so much, I might lock him in to be our number 1 goalkeeper until the end of the season. We need to really nail down a goalkeeper, don't we? This is potentially an issue we've got. We have also brought in 2 central defenders. Stefan Stojlikovic might be his name, signed from Radniki. He is a Serbian central defender. Not amazing, he's come in for depth. But for £350,000, we have signed Leon Schmidt, a Portuguese central defender, maybe a left-back, maybe a right winger. Apparently he can also play there. He has come in, and he has basically been brought in to shore up that defence. He is one of our better defenders. If we look at the coach summary, we've got Dimitrescu still there, Torre and Schmidt all in at 3.5 star current ability. So I'm hoping that is not money wasted. I think right now, in February, we need to basically just hope we don't get ourselves relegated, or not relegated, sacked. If we can finish in the top 6, that will be perfect. We have moved up to 6th place as well. In the Europa League, we have managed to get out of the group stage. If we go back very quickly, we finished 17th, 4 wins, so we beat also Young Boys 3-0, which is actually very good, and we then lost 4-1 against Getafe with the extra results there. We are then into the knockout playoff round, where we have so far lost once to Porto, and I think we might lose again to Porto. So our European adventure might be over, but we've done enough, I think, to help Romania from a coefficients perspective. So looking at the formation, we are locking in 4 players still, and we've done a little bit of a tweak. Filipovic is going to be our number 1 goalkeeper. Dimitriou is going to be our right back now. That's right, we are pushing him over to be a right back because he can also play there, and I don't think he's particularly bad as a right back either. And because we obviously sold Teodoro, Dimitriou might be able to do a job in that right back position instead. Sigurd Steinson and Wafula still keep their places, which is perfectly fine. I've just seen Wafula scored 13 goals so far this season. He is wanted. He's wanted by big boys in England, and he hasn't got a minimum fee release, so we should be fine. So we've hit the end of the regular season, and we are indeed into the Champions playoff if we go back to the league table. We finished 5th, 47 points, 13 wins, 8 draws, 9 defeats. Our goals conceded is still a problem. If we sort by goals conceded, we are the 3rd worst in the entire league. And the 2 teams ahead of us, one of them is Cluj, actually, who somehow managed to finish 6th, but is also 13th place Hermannstad. So defensively, we are fragile. Let's just say we're fragile. And yes, we have been knocked out of the Europa League against Porto, which is kind of expected, I guess. It's annoying, but it's expected. We are into the Romanian Cup later stages. We do have FCSB, though, so I imagine it's probably not going to go particularly well. Well, one thing that did not go very well is the Champions playoff. We have finished bottom of the Champions playoff, 30 points, just 1 win in our final 10, which is a 3-0 win against Cluj. We also draw 3 matches as well, and then 6 defeats. It's not good. It's really not particularly good at all. How well did we get on in the Romanian Cup, shall we see? I'm thinking we didn't win it because Cluj have qualified for the Europa League, so I think they've won it. They did win it, and they beat us in the final. Oh, that's frustrating. That's really frustrating. The fact that we got to the final was good, obviously, but losing against Cluj. So Benitez scores for them, then Grecu, then De Gire getting the winning goal in the 28th minute. We had a goal disallowed as well from Meziano. So of the 4, let's call it 4 competitions that we're in, we finished 6th in the league, which is arguably better than what they predicted. I think it was like 11th we were predicted, so it's an improvement. In the Champions League and Europa League, knocked out in the Europa League playoff round by Porto, which is not a surprise. We should have won the cup. We should have won the cup getting to the final, but we did obviously win the Romanian Super Cup. So it's a trophy. It's definitely a trophy, which is always good. Right, before we take a look at the players and the coefficients then, this is what we have got for our youth intake. We've actually got quite a few high potential players. We've got Razvan Lup, a right back, 15 years of age. Mihai Marin, who is a 16-year-old striker. Could be alright, actually. He's wanted. Who wants him? FC Argus want to sign him. Okay, that's interesting. Kalin Vasile is a central defender. He's 5'8". You do need to do some growing, mate. Floran Raducan is very fast and a right midfielder. We need to retrain you into a better position because we don't play that. Dragos Kovaci is a similar situation. He's not very good. I don't think there's much there. And Andre David is another right back he's rubbish. Why have we signed him? I don't think this guy's ever going to make it. But we do have some players who have made it. We have Octavian Christeo, who did come through our youth intake a while ago before we even joined the club. He is our 4th top goal scorer with 11 goals in all competitions, only starting 15 games as well. So that's actually quite good return. Kenyan winger Collins Wafulu has picked up 2 more caps and has also managed to score 15 goals and get 18 assists as well in his debut season playing in Romania. He's done very well. Is he still wanted by the bigger boys? Only Man United now. Attila Grecu manages to get 16 goals and 8 assists in all competitions. Actually didn't start a huge amount of football. 24 games at 9 off the bench. But our top goal scorer is Mesiani. By a fair distance, 26 goals in all competitions. Just the 5 assists for Mesiani. The Algerian with 28 caps to his name as well. He's starting to get good. When we signed him last season, he wasn't particularly useful, was he? He come off the bench a lot, only scoring 1 goal. My assistant manager, I assume, played him a lot of times, 32 starts in the league, 17 goals though. Mesiani has had a very good year. Somebody else who's actually had a very good year as well is Joel Umaru, who obviously signed in the summer for about £12,000, I think. Played, by the looks of it, the majority of the season as that attacking midfielder, getting 10 assists, 6 goals as well in all competitions. I'm happy with that turnaround. And another person to get double figures for assists is Hedi Ben Salem, the Tunisian left-back and right-back. I have to give this guy a new contract because basically he has a match highest earner clause and he's probably getting paid too much money now compared to the rest of the people who are in the team. But yeah, Ben Salem getting 11 assists, 4 goals as well. Still a very good turnaround. And as we know, Collins Wafulu with 18 assists is our best player for assists and up there with goals as well. He's had a cracking season. Someone who's had an indifferent season is Dimitriou, who obviously is our 16-year-old centre-back / right-back. He's got better. He's got 3 assists. He's also got a goal. He's actually got 5 assists in all competitions. So he's kind of chipping in. He's still got a long, long way to go. He'll be 17 in, October. We do need to tie you down to a new contract, and preferably one that does not have a minimum fee release, because I've been trying, and every time his agent goes, I want a £1.5 million minimum fee release, and that is far too low. Give me 10 million and then we can talk. And finally, Dragan Filipovic, the 23-year-old, or now 23-year-old Serbian goalkeeper, played 15 times, 22 conceded, just 3 clean sheets. I mean, he's kind of been dropped in at the deep end here, but Filipovic, I think, if we stick with him, will be our number 1 goalkeeper for a fair few seasons to go, unless somebody tries to steal him off us, which I hope they won't, because he's an unambitious goalkeeper. He doesn't want to leave. He loves it here in Romania. Right then, the final thing we will take a look at is coefficients for Romania. And we are losing a 9.1, but we are gaining a 14.9. So our performances in Europe, I say ours, as if we're the only team that did anything. But I'm going to say we definitely contributed a lot to this. Our performances in Europe have going to hopefully propel us back up to maybe 13th or 14th. Where are we going to go? Where have we gone? We are there in between Scotland and Sweden. So if we sort by that, we are into 17th. We've gone up 2 places. So we're going to Austria. It means it's no difference. No difference to the number of teams qualifying. We want to be back into 15th. 10th is the dream. Okay? 10th is the dream because that means we get 1 team guaranteed. The winner of the league is guaranteed to get Champions League football. But I think we're still a fair distance away from that. Well, that's going to do it for this season. However, next season, because of our little European run, we picked up a huge chunk of money. It was about £8 million there. We've obviously picked up money going through the season as well from transfers, television revenue as well for Champions League matches. We've got £12 million transfer budget right now, guaranteed of £6 million next season. Our wage budget, we are barely halfway through our wage budget. We could do some really stupid things and spend big money in the summer in a hope to try and kind of secure ourselves as the best team in Romania. However, I genuinely think we've got a lot of good, decent young players with some potential who just need some game time. When you look here, we've got 5 players there who've got 4.5 potential or higher. We've got all of these players here who have 4-star potential. I know star rating doesn't necessarily mean much because it's in comparison to your squad and what your kind of assistant managers and coaches think, but potential kind of means something-ish, sort of. So I'm there going, if we get all of these guys playing a lot of football next season, they're going to hopefully get better. And maybe when it gets to, season 15, 14, 15, something like that, they're kind of not world-class, but they're really good quality players. That's my plan. So that's going to do it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next season of our Building a Nation save, where we are still in charge of Voluntari. We've not been sacked. It's going well.